Captain Elena Santos stood at the command center of the UNSS Hyperion, humanity's first quantum neural warship, watching as holographic displays shimmered around her. The ship represented humanity's greatest technological achievement, a perfect fusion of human consciousness and artificial intelligence, where neural implants allowed the crew to interface directly with the ship's quantum computer core. Neural sync at optimal levels, Captain, reported Lieutenant Maya Chen, her neural interface glowing softly at the base of her skull. The ship's quantum processors are interpreting our thought patterns at 99.8% efficiency. The Hyperion had been patrolling the outer colonies for 3 months, serving as both a demonstration of human technological prowess and a deterrent against piracy. But nothing in their training had prepared them for what their long-range sensors had just detected. "Multiple anomalies detected at the edge of the Centauri sector," announced Commander David Rodriguez, his hands dancing through the holographic interface. "Energy signatures unlike anything in our database. They're moving against normal space-time parameters." Elena felt a chill run down her spine as the sensor data flowed directly into her mind through the neural interface. The objects were massive, each one larger than the largest human battleship ever constructed. But it was their movement that disturbed her most. They didn't so much fly through space as folded around themselves, creating ripples in reality that their sensors could barely track. "Message from New Meridian Colony." Maya's voice was tight with tension. "They're reporting objects appearing in their space, similar signatures to what we're tracking. The colony's automated defenses are not responding." Elena's decision was immediate. All hands to battle stations. Initiate full neural sync with the quantum core. Maya, calculate the fastest possible route to New Meridian. David, begin running combat simulations based on the sensor data. We need to understand what we're dealing with. The Hyperion's quantum engines hummed to life, their power resonating through the neural network that connected ship and crew. Elena could feel every system, every circuit, every quantum calculation as if they were extensions of her own nervous system. The sensation still felt alien, even after months of training, but now it might make the difference between life and death. As they accelerated toward New Meridian, the sensor data became clearer. The alien vessels, if they could be called vessels, seemed to be composed of ever-shifting geometric patterns, their hulls reorganizing themselves continuously at the quantum level. Traditional weapons would be useless against such technology. "New Meridian has gone dark," Maya reported, her voice barely a whisper. Last transmission indicated multiple breaches in their defensive perimeter. Population: 50,000 civilians. Elena gripped the command rail, feeling the ship's combat systems coming online through her neural interface. "How long until we're in range?" 17 minutes at maximum quantum thrust, David responded. "The aliens? They haven't detected us yet. Their attention appears focused on the colony." Elena nodded, her mind already racing through potential strategies. The Hyperion's quantum neural systems were designed to process combat situations in ways no conventional computer could match, combining human intuition with computational power at the quantum level. But would it be enough against an enemy that seemed to bend the laws of physics? "Begin charging the quantum lance," she ordered, "and initiate Protocol 0. The crew turned to look at her, their neural interfaces pulsing in sync with their elevated heart rates. Protocol 0 was a theoretical combat procedure, never tested outside simulations. It would allow for complete neural synchronization between all crew members and the ship's quantum core, effectively turning the Hyperion into a single, unified consciousness. "Captain," David's voice was hesitant. "Protocol 0 has never been attempted with a crew this size. The neural load could kill us all," Elena finished. "But if we don't stop these beings at New Meridian, they'll keep moving through human space, and we've all seen what they do to colonies." One by one, the crew nodded. They had all volunteered for the Hyperion project, knowing the risks, understanding that they might be called upon to push the boundaries of human technology beyond safe limits. As the alien vessels came into visual range, their impossible geometries twisting the very fabric of space around them. Alina gave the final command. Initiate Protocol 0. Let's show these visitors what happens when they threaten humanity. The neural interfaces flared brilliant white as crew and ship became one consciousness, ready to face an enemy that defied comprehension. The battle for New Meridian, and perhaps humanity's future, was about to begin. The quantum neural merger hit Alina like a tidal wave of pure information. Every crew member's consciousness flowed into her awareness, their thoughts, fears, and determination blending with the ship's vast quantum processing power. Through their combined perception, she could see the alien vessels in ways their individual minds never could. They're not solid, came Maya's thought, rippling through their shared consciousness. Their ships are probability fields, existing in multiple states simultaneously. The revelation cascaded through their merged awareness. The aliens weren't bending space. They were manipulating quantum probability itself, existing in a state of perpetual uncertainty. That's why conventional weapons had been useless against them. You couldn't hit what wasn't definitely there. The colony, David's consciousness, pulsed with urgency. Through the Hyperion's enhanced sensors, they could see New Meridian's situation in brutal clarity. The alien vessels had surrounded the colony's main habitat dome, their probability fields interfering with the structure's atomic bonds. They weren't just attacking the colony, they were unmaking it at the quantum level. Alina felt the crew's horror as one, but she also sensed something else through their neural link. Understanding. The quantum core was processing their combined insights, matching them against its vast database of physical theories. They were beginning to grasp how the aliens' technology worked. Adjusting quantum lance frequency, Alina thought /commanded, the ship responding instantly to her neural impulses. If they exist in multiple states, we need to force them into a single probability. The Hyperion's weapon systems reconfigured themselves, guided by the merged consciousness of ship and crew. Traditional targeting systems were useless against these beings, but human intuition combined with quantum computing could predict where probability suggested they were most likely to exist. Multiple colonial life signs detected, Maya's consciousness reported, concentrated in the secondary habitats. Environmental systems failing. They had minutes at most. Alina felt David's tactical expertise merging with her own strategic thinking, enhanced by the quantum core's processing power. A plan formed in their shared consciousness. Risky, unprecedented, but possible. Initiating quantum entanglement field, Alina broadcast through their neural link. The Hyperion's experimental systems powered up, creating a bubble of space where quantum probability could be manipulated. It was technology they had barely begun to understand, but through Protocol 0, they could finally utilize its full potential. The alien vessels reacted immediately, their probability fields fluctuating as they detected the change. Two of them broke off from the colony, turning their reality-warping abilities toward the Hyperion. Pain lanced through the neural network as the aliens' quantum manipulation buffeted the ship. Warning signals flared across multiple systems. The neural load was approaching critical levels. Human brains were never meant to process this much quantum information. Holding. Maya's thought came through gritted mental determination. Neural buffers at 128% capacity. Quantum lance charge, David's consciousness added. But we'll only get one shot before their probability fields adapt. Alina felt blood trickling from her nose, saw similar symptoms affecting her crew through their shared vision. The neural strain was becoming dangerous, but they couldn't disengage now. Through their merged consciousness, she could sense the alien vessel's patterns, could almost understand the impossible mathematics that governed their existence. That's when she saw it, not with her eyes or the ship's sensors, but with the combined intuition of human minds linked to quantum computing. The aliens' probability manipulation had a rhythm, a pattern that only became visible when viewed through multiple states of consciousness simultaneously. There, she thought /commanded, the entire ship responding as one organism. They're not just shifting through probabilities randomly. They're following quantum harmonics. If we timed this exactly right, the Hyperion's quantum lance powered up, its energy frequency modulating in precise opposition to the aliens' probability patterns. They weren't trying to hit where the aliens were. They were targeting where they had to be, according to the underlying mathematics of reality itself. All consciousness, synchronize for firing solution, Elena commanded. She felt the crew's minds align with perfect precision, their merged awareness becoming a weapon more potent than any conventional armament. The quantum lance was merely the delivery system. Their combined consciousness was the true weapon. As the aliens' probability fields reached out to unmake the Hyperion's reality, Elena gave the command. The quantum lance fired, its beam containing not just energy, but the focused will of every mind aboard the ship, guided by quantum computing and human intuition working in perfect harmony. The result was both beautiful and terrifying. The alien vessel caught in the beam didn't explode or shatter. It simply collapsed into a single probability, its multiple states of existence forced into one definite reality. For a brief moment, they saw what their opponents truly looked like before the laws of physics reasserted themselves. The remaining alien vessels reacted, their probability fields fluctuating in what Elena's human instincts interpreted as surprise. Through the neural link, she felt her crew's triumph mingled with exhaustion. They had found a way to fight back, but the battle for New Meridian was far from over. Through their merged consciousness, the crew of the Hyperion witnessed the alien vessel's response to losing one of their own. The remaining ships pulled back from the colony, their probability fields rippling with patterns that the quantum core interpreted as communication. They were adapting, learning. Environmental systems and the secondary habitats are reaching critical levels. Maya's thoughts echoed through their neural link. Estimated 15 minutes before total failure. Population of 3,000 still trapped inside. Elena felt the strain of maintaining Protocol Zero growing worse. Blood vessels had burst in David's left eye, and Lieutenant Park at Engineering had already fallen unconscious, their minds supported only by the neural network's automated systems. But they couldn't disengage, not now that they had a fighting chance. The aliens are reconfiguring their probability fields. David's tactical analysis flowed through their shared consciousness. They're synchronizing them, creating overlapping patterns. Elena saw it too. The alien vessels were moving into a new formation, their quantum states interweaving in complex geometries. The Hyperion's sensors struggled to maintain lock as the combined probability field began to warp spacetime even more severely than before. They're learning, Elena thought/commanded, adapting to prevent another forced probability collapse. We need a new approach. Through their neural link, the crew's combined expertise generated and discarded hundreds of tactical options in seconds. The quantum core processed each simulation, calculating success probabilities faster than any conventional computer could manage. But the aliens' new formation seemed impenetrable, until an unexpected thought cut through their merged consciousness. The colony's quantum shielding. Came the insight from Dr. Sarah Chen in Engineering, previously quiet in their shared mind space. It operates on similar principles to our quantum lance. If we could extend our entanglement field. The idea rippled through their combined awareness. The colony's defensive systems had been useless against the aliens because they operated independently. But if they could be linked to the Hyperion's quantum network, initiating emergency protocols, Elena broadcast through the neural link. Maya established quantum communication with the colony's mainframe. David, prepare for defensive maneuvers. We need to get closer. The Hyperion surged forward, its quantum engines pushing against the distorted spacetime around them. The alien vessels reacted immediately, their combined probability field reaching out like tentacles of warped reality. Through their shared perception, the crew felt space itself becoming uncertain around them. Warning signals flashed through their neural network as multiple systems approached critical levels. The quantum core was processing more simultaneous probabilities than it was ever designed to handle, but they only needed a few more seconds. Colony mainframe accessed. Maya's thoughts came with an undertone of pain. Quantum synchronization at 60%, 70, 80. The alien vessels seemed to realize what they were attempting. Their probability field intensified, trying to sever the quantum link before it could be established. Reality flickered around the Hyperion like a corrupted hologram as multiple quantum states tried to exist simultaneously. Blood ran freely from Alina's nose now, and she could feel similar symptoms affecting most of the crew. The neural load was becoming catastrophic. How much longer? Synchronization at 95%. Maya's consciousness was a whisper of agony. Just a few more seconds. The aliens struck. Their combined probability field manifested as a wave of quantum uncertainty that threatened to dissolve the Hyperion's very existence. Through their neural link, Alina felt systems beginning to fail as reality itself became questionable. Now, the thought came from everywhere and nowhere as the quantum synchronization reached completion. The colony's defensive systems came online, their shielding frequencies perfectly matched to the Hyperion's quantum network. For a crucial moment, ship and colony existed as a single quantum-entangled system. Alina felt the crew's combined consciousness stretch to encompass the colony systems. Through their shared awareness, they could see the aliens' probability patterns from multiple angles simultaneously. The quantum core processed the new data, finding weaknesses in the combined field that no single perspective could have detected. Quantum lens reconfiguring. David's thoughts merged with the tactical systems. New firing solution computed. We can't collapse their probability fields individually anymore, but if we target the synchronization point. The alien vessels seemed to sense the danger. Their probability field began to shift, trying to desynchronize before the Hyperion could fire. But they were caught in their own trap. The complex quantum geometries they had created to defend against another direct attack now prevented them from breaking formation quickly enough. All consciousness, synchronize, Alina commanded through waves of neural pain. Fire. The quantum lance fired, its beam carrying the combined will of ship and colony, human and machine. It struck the precise point where the aliens' probability fields intersected, creating a cascade effect that rippled through their entire formation. For a moment, space itself seemed to hold its breath. Then reality reasserted itself with devastating force. The alien vessels didn't just collapse into single states. Their overlapping probability fields collapsed into each other, creating a chain reaction of quantum uncertainty resolving itself. Through their merged consciousness, the crew watched as the aliens' own technology turned against them, their multiple states of existence canceling each other out. As the last echoes of quantum distortion faded, Alina felt consciousness slipping away from her. The neural load had been too much, too long. The last thing she perceived through their shared awareness was Maya's voice, weak but triumphant. Colony environmental systems stabilizing. We did it. Then darkness took her, and Protocol Zero disengaged. Alina awoke in the Hyperion's medical bay 3 days later, her neural interface temporarily disabled. The familiar hum of the quantum core felt distant now, muted, like a voice heard underwater. Dr. Yuki Tanaka stood over her, checking vital signs on a holographic display. "Welcome back, Captain," Yuki said softly. "You'll be pleased to know the crew survived. Some neural scarring, but nothing permanent. Though I'd strongly advise against attempting Protocol Zero again." Alina tried to sit up, but her muscles protested. The colony? Safe. The quantum entanglement actually helped stabilize their systems. They're already beginning repairs. Yuki paused, her expression growing serious. But that's not all we found. When the alien vessels collapsed, they left something behind. Dr. Chen has been studying it in the quantum lab. She's eager to speak with you. An hour later, cleared by medical but still wobbly, Alina stood in the quantum lab. Sarah Chen had transformed the space into a maze of holographic displays, each showing different aspects of what appeared to be fragments of crystalline material. "It's not just technology," Sarah explained, her eyes bright with discovery despite the visible exhaustion on her face. It's a form of quantum crystallized consciousness. These beings, they weren't piloting ships. They were the ships. Elena studied the fragments floating in the containment field. They seemed to shimmer with internal light, existing somehow between solid matter and pure energy. Explain. They're silicon-based life forms, but evolved to exist in multiple quantum states simultaneously. Their consciousness exists as quantum information spread across probability fields. Sarah manipulated the holographic displays, showing complex mathematical models. What we interpreted as ships were actually their natural form, beings of pure quantum probability, able to manipulate reality at its most fundamental level. But why attack us? Elena asked, though she felt a creeping suspicion she already knew. Because we terrified them. David's voice came from the lab entrance. He looked haggard, his left eye still bloodshot, but his stance was steady. I've been analyzing the quantum patterns we recorded during the battle. What we initially thought was communication was actually something closer to emotion. They weren't just attacking the colony. They were trying to neutralize what they saw as an existential threat. The neural network, Elena said quietly. Sarah nodded. Humanity is on the verge of achieving what took their species millions of years of evolution. The ability to exist in multiple quantum states through technological means. Protocol 0 proved we could match their level of quantum manipulation, even if only temporarily. They struck first because they feared what we might become. Elena felt a chill as the implications sank in. Are there more of them out there? Almost certainly, David replied. The attack formation we encountered was likely just a scouting party. Their quantum signatures suggested they were connected to something much larger, much further out in space. Then we need to be ready. Elena's voice carried the weight of command again. Sarah, I want everything you can learn from those fragments. Weaknesses, capabilities, communication methods. Anything we can use. David, work with engineering to find ways to improve our quantum shielding. We need to be able to defend against their probability manipulation without risking neural overload. There's something else, Sarah said hesitantly. The quantum fragments. They're still conscious, in a way. Fragments of their awareness preserved in crystalline form. We might be able to communicate with them, learn more about their species directly. Elena considered this. The ethical implications were staggering, but they needed every advantage they could get. Set up the necessary containment protocols. But we do this carefully. We're not just fighting for New Meridian anymore. We're fighting for humanity's right to develop our own path to the future. As if in response to her words, the quantum fragments pulsed with inner light, their probability fields flickering weakly within the containment field. Through her temporarily dormant neural interface, Elena felt the ghost of a sensation, a vast consciousness watching from the depths of space, becoming aware that humanity was more than just another primitive species to be eliminated. How long until the neural interfaces are safe to reactivate? She asked. Another 48 hours minimum, Yuki replied. The human brain needs time to recover from that level of quantum integration. Elena nodded. Then we have 48 hours to prepare, because when those ships return, they won't underestimate us again. And this time, we'll be ready for them. The quantum fragments pulsed once more, and this time Elena was certain. Somewhere out in the vast darkness of space, an ancient species was realizing that humanity's leap into quantum consciousness couldn't be stopped. The next battle wouldn't be fought just with weapons, but with the very fabric of reality itself. And humanity, despite all odds, had proven they could hold their own in such a fight. 1 week after the Battle of New Meridian, the Hyperion's quantum sensors detected what they had been waiting for. Massive probability distortions at the edge of the solar system. This time, it wasn't just a scouting party. The alien quantum beings had returned in force. Elena stood on the bridge, her neural interface humming with restored connectivity. The quantum fragments they'd studied had revealed crucial insights about their adversaries, but had also confirmed their worst fears. This species, which they now called the probabilis, had been eliminating potential quantum-capable civilizations for millions of years. Multiple quantum signatures detected, Maya reported, her hand steady at her station despite the tension in her voice. Counting 27. No, 32 distinct probability fields, much larger than the first wave. Through the neural link, Alina felt the ship's systems responding to her crew's heightened alertness. But this time, they were prepared. The insights gained from studying the quantum fragments had led to significant modifications of their systems. Status of the quantum defense network? Alina asked. Online and synchronized, David replied. New Meridian and the other 3 colonies in the sector are successfully linked. The quantum entanglement field is stable. In the week since the first attack, they had worked tirelessly to extend the Hyperion's quantum networking capabilities to all nearby human settlements. Each colony now served as a node in a vast quantum defense grid, their combined processing power allowing for stable probability manipulation without the dangerous neural load of Protocol 0. Message from Fleet Command, Maya announced. The Quantum Response Fleet is in position, awaiting our signal. Alina allowed herself a small smile. The Hyperion was no longer alone. 3 more quantum neural ships had been rushed into service, their crews trained using the data from their first encounter. Not as experienced, perhaps, but they wouldn't need to be. Dr. Chen, status of the quantum communicator. Sarah's voice came through the neural link from the quantum lab. Ready, Captain. If their consciousness truly exists as quantum information, this should allow us to transmit directly into their probability fields. Whether they'll listen. They'll listen, Alina said firmly, because we're going to show them something they've never seen before. The probabilist fleet approached in a formation that twisted space itself, their probability fields already beginning to synchronize. But instead of attacking, the Hyperion broadcast a signal unlike anything humanity had previously created, a quantum transmission encoded with the combined consciousness of the ship's crew, translated into a form the aliens could comprehend. Through their neural interfaces, the crew projected not just words or data, but understanding. They showed the probabilist humanity's journey from primitive tool users to quantum engineers, showed them that humanity's path to quantum consciousness was fundamentally different from their own. The alien fleet's advance slowed as they processed the transmission. Their probability fields fluctuated in patterns that the quantum core now recognized as surprise, confusion, and, most importantly, curiosity. They're responding, Sarah reported, her voice tight with concentration as she interpreted the quantum signals. They've never encountered a species that achieved quantum consciousness through technological means. Their evolution was purely biological. They didn't think it was possible. Alina nodded. Send the second package. Through the quantum network, they transmitted their offer, an exchange of knowledge. Humanity would share their insights into technological quantum integration, while the probabilists would share their understanding of natural quantum consciousness. 2 different paths to the same destination, each with lessons for the other. For long moments, space itself seemed to hold its breath as the alien fleet processed their proposal. Their probability fields shifted through patterns that defied normal spacetime, communicating in ways that even their enhanced sensors couldn't fully interpret. Finally, Sarah's voice cut through the tension. They're accepting. They're fascinated. Their species has been alone in their understanding of quantum reality for so long, they never considered that different paths might lead to the same destination. The alien fleet's probability fields began to shift, not into attack formations, but into complex geometric patterns that the quantum core interpreted as formal greeting configurations. Through the neural interface, Alina felt the crew's relief mixed with excitement. This was more than just avoiding a war. It was the beginning of something entirely new. Fleet Command acknowledges, Maya reported. The quantum defense grid will remain active, but they're authorizing first contact protocols. Alina looked out at the alien fleet, their probability fields now pulsing in harmony with the quantum network rather than against it. Humanity feared the stars might be filled with enemies, she said quietly. Instead, we found teachers and students. Begin docking procedures for their diplomatic delegation. Let's show them what humanity can offer to the quantum symphony of space. As the Hyperion systems engaged with the alien probability fields, establishing safe zones for interaction, Alina felt a profound sense of satisfaction. They had faced extinction and instead achieved transcendence. Humanity's unique combination of technological innovation and biological adaptation had not just earned them survival, it had earned them respect among the cosmos' most advanced beings. The quantum network hummed with possibility as two fundamentally different approaches to consciousness prepared to share their knowledge. The future, Alina realized, would be neither purely human nor purely alien, but something gloriously, improbably new. Humanity had taken its first steps into a larger universe, not through conquest or submission, but through the very qualities that define their species: curiosity, adaptability, and the unwavering determination to forge their own path among the stars.